Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys all had a great week. I know I did. Just another week living the dream. Had a pretty great weekend. Got some packages. Milwaukee, they went ahead and they sent me this mid-torque. Basically their new kind of middle-of-the-road impact wrench that they've got. This is almost a replacement for the high torque. I mean, yeah, there's some times where you might have a rusted on lug nut or a monster lag bolt, but for the most part, we're gonna use this probably all the time. I don't think we'll probably use the high torque very often. It'll probably just stay in my shop. They sent that out. Another thing that they sent out to me, sweet backpack. If you guys are following me on Instagram, I had a huge milestone. I hit 10,000 followers, which was awesome. Thank you again to any of those listening that are following me on Instagram. But Milwaukee teamed up and we did a giveaway, and one lucky winner was able to walk away with one of these bags, and they sent me one as well, which I really appreciate. Thank you, Milwaukee. I use my bag basically as a site layout bag, so when I have to go to a customer that needs a building and they're ready to lay it out with me, I've got everything I need. I got my tapes and some marking paint, string lines if we need to line up with something. But basically everything's here. I got a couple screwdrivers in there and just stick in the ground when I want to hold my tapes. Very well built bag, I love it. It's of course heavy duty. So I went ahead and I picked up just kind of a cool knife from Milwaukee Fastback. I mean, everybody's kind of got one of these. I love these. That was kind of a good start to the week. Also, Brian over at True Work, go check him out. Some of the best workwear I've ever worn. It's industrial athletic wear, so it's made for the industrial athlete. I think that's a pretty cool term. I don't mind calling myself that. Getting too old to be a real athlete, so I'm gonna be an industrial athlete. And I tell you what, guys, I'm not getting paid to say this. The stuff is not cheap, but at the same time, it is very comfortable. And I now have about 4 pairs and have had 0 issues. So I will go ahead and I will drop a link down in the description so you guys can check them out and just tell them that I sent you. Monday, we finished tearing down the barn at my house that the guys worked on last week. If you guys want to see kind of an in-depth video on that tear down, I will also leave the link to that down in the description as well. It was a long time coming. The wind has been just murdering this shed at my house. I'm out in the middle of northern Illinois, kind of flat ground. It gets pretty windy, and you know, structurally there was not much left. The posts were barely even in the ground. They were just rotted clean off. So we went ahead and got that tore down Monday. The rest of it got the site cleaned up. Went to the scrap yard on Tuesday and took all the old galvanized steel, which I know some people probably are mad at me for because they could use it for crafts or whatever. But I did save a pretty nice pile of the really good stuff. So I didn't just throw it all away. Wednesday, we started another job, a big corn crib that the customer wanted us to put a new steel roof on. And so we got over there. It was pretty windy. But we were able to basically get up on the cupola, which was about 30 foot up. Thankfully, I had my boom lift over there. Otherwise, I don't know how we would have done it very safely. But we were able to get up there with the boom, get our fall protection on, and secure and get that done. So we did get the cupola done. We got rained out the rest of the week, so we will get back to that on Monday, hopefully, if the weather cooperates. Thursday, we started another job for a local company. They've got a monster warehouse. What happened was about 2 years ago in the spring, we had a pretty hefty tornado come right through town, and it did some pretty major damage to this building. Well, they have since repaired and replaced a big chunk of it, and the kind of the last piece of the puzzle is they've got all this old insulation that got wet, damaged, whatever, up in the ceiling between the old roof and the purlins. Basically just wanted to get that all cut out, get it all taken down and cleaned up. I'm not really quite sure how I got involved, but I'm really happy at this point. We were able to get in there while the roads are posted, which for those of you that don't know what road postings are, I'm in Northern Illinois and we get a pretty hard winter. So when the roads thaw, all that frost is coming up and the roads start heaving, and it's just a total mess. You got a lot of mud, but what that means is our roads get really soft, so they don't allow you to drive heavy machinery, semis, which basically means no one's putting in any sites for our buildings and we're not getting materials to our sites. This time of year, usually if we don't have stuff already sitting, which I don't like materials sitting on a job site unless I'm working on it. That's just the way it goes. March usually is pretty slow for me in a sense of putting up buildings, so I usually resort to doing other work that is high, dry, out of the mud, and preferably out of the crappy weather inside. We're doing that. We're tearing out all the insulation. It'll probably take a few weeks. There's about 80 or 85,000 square foot of insulation to tear down. We'll be working on that. Also, next week, I've got a customer of mine that we put up a building for last year is now wanting me to just come back and frame up a bathroom for him. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll probably do that while the guys are tearing down insulation. We've got just a little garden shed that a customer wants us to put up. Probably all the pre-cutting of that in the shop. I've already got all the materials sitting here. So probably get that done, so that way when we are ready, we're just showing up, framing away and getting it done. We're not scratching our head, figuring out measurements and whatever else. We can just have it all go together like a puzzle. So anyway, hope you guys have a great week next week, and if you would, go ahead and hit like down below. Feel free to leave me comments, questions, anything like that down in the comments section, and if you would be so kind, hit the subscribe button, and that'll give me reason to keep doing these videos.